clouds and the snow. It snowed. It's very cool. John Razimus here in the cold breeze. I will be editing, releasing more footage of this ghost, the spirit I filmed. It's an authentic case of a haunted location built in the 1830s, the grist mill. Part 2, 3, and 4, or perhaps I will combine parts 3 and 4 as one. Part 1 is the most phenomenal part. If you haven't seen it, check it out. The grist mill ghost and the good pirate. I'm going to be talking about the good pirate, Joseph John Chapman. He changed his name to Jose Juan Chapman to better fit in with his wife's community. He married Guadalupe Ortega. The Chapman Ortega family is a legacy family in California. He's buried at Mission Santa Barbara. Very interesting guy. J.J. Chapman is what I'd call him, because I don't know if I'd want to call him Jose Juan Chapman. Joseph John Chapman is what his name is. He's the good pirate. He was a good guy. He did good things. But I don't think the spirit at the grist mill has anything to do with him. I think the spirit at the grist mill is 100% its own independent individual spirit. There's a verse in the old biblioteca, the old Bible, that says things that you can see are temporary. Things that you cannot see are eternal. And after I'm long dead and gone, I guarantee the spirit at the 1830s grist mill is still going to be there, because it's an actual entity. Slightly higher dimension. It showed up all 4 times. I went there January 2018 for the first time at night. It was there. I captured it. Second visit was July last year. Third visit was September last year. Fourth visit was just a couple days ago, 18th and 19th. The spirit at least showed its presence, set off this static meter, which I'm grateful for. Because if it didn't set off anything, I would be discouraged from ever wanting to go back. But perhaps I'm going to be doing more local, close investigations nearby, not some extremely far away ones. And because I believe there are way more haunted locations near my house. The unique thing about the grist mill ghost is every single time it sets something off. Other ghosts, like the parking lot ghost at the local mall, it seems like a bunch of ghosts, and they seem kind of chaotic. Someone said, oh, it's wires underneath the parking lot. Wires don't set off static electricity meters. They just don't. I've already proven that by going to a small power plant, by going to various power lines and cell towers. But I'll continue to investigate showing wires, but you got to understand, a disbeliever watches for a different reason than a believer watches. And even believers disbelieve. I'm sure there are a good number that claim they believe, when really there's the biggest skeptics of all. Maybe they just want to get on my good side. You don't have to get on my good side. I don't care whether you believe or disbelieve. Get the same stuff on eBay, dirt cheap, used. Go to the same locations I go to, or find your own locations. It's for science. It's to prove The invisible is a world vastly more important than the visible from a certain perspective. I know invisible entities are only invisible because they're veiled under that shadow screen of the dimensions. When we pop up into their dimension, they'll no longer be invisible. They will no longer be, just a figment of your imagination, or the malfunction of the device. No, it's not a malfunction on the device. There are ways they can manipulate detectors, meters in our dimension. But skepticism is due to believing only with what you see. You see? Invisible entities exist. Crazy people will say that, but sane people will say it if they actually take a look at the science going on. I took it to a powerless house with zero power. There aren't any powered lines even remotely near the 1830s grist mill. The closest power lines would be connected to the closest houses, which are blocks away. Blocks away. I know for 100% fact it's an intelligent spirit. But I'm not going to bow down and worship this spirit. I'm not going to start a cult for this spirit. I just want to record it for scientific purposes. I am making journals, detailed the time I got there, the time I left, what transpired. Here's the video evidence, the audio evidence. Is what it is. There's no fluff around it. I am, a bit of a musician, so I'm going to make some scary music, perhaps. Because I see shows like Ghost Adventures will have scary music, and people will take it seriously. The first 100 hours of my footage, condensed versions of it, I threw up there, and I didn't put any scary music on there. People are like, You put some scary music on there, and yeah, people will take it a little bit more seriously. It's a psychological thing, of course. But I'm happy to put it up with no music. It's just, you got to package it to an extent. I'm not an entertainer. I speak the truth. I'm a scientifically motivated individual, a truth motivated, but the word truth is thrown around so often these days that you can't even trust the word truth. Spirits, in a second, they can travel vast distances. They are energy beings. They're intelligent energy. They're like electricity. They're intelligent electricity. I can sense them when they walk through me. They have 2 feet. 2 legs. They only look like they're floating or levitating because of the gap between the dimensions. I've even heard that they walk on a planet Earth that is a spirit planet Earth. That's slightly different from our physical planet Earth. That would make sense with the great amount of erosion and whatnot, but it's interesting to know, does the planet Earth have a spirit? I'd say there's a chance everything, every atom, every molecule theoretically could have a spirit or spirit properties. Spirit is a type of matter that will be scientific if we can detect it, but we can't detect it on any extreme level because we're cavemen. We're cavemen, we barely know anything, all right? In this enlightened age, we've finally come to the enlightened conclusion that social media is everything, TV is everything, news is everything, and that important things have been forgotten. Kind of like a Star Wars scenario where very few people believe in the Force. Spirits are real, spirits exist, they're all around us, they're everywhere. They do watch us. If you think that's creepy, just is what it is. I don't think they really care about seeing a naked human. I don't think they care about that. They're like, seen a million of them. Not interested in spying on naked humans. See, humans already are naked. They have X-ray vision. By looking down into the dimensions, crossroads of the spirits, and the physical earthly realm of humans is where you can, on more common occasions than I even considered, you can prove they are there and you can communicate. I keep my communications with spirits on a minimal basis, because I'm not a sorcerer, I'm not a warlock, I'm not a witch, I'm not any type of necromancer, I'm not any type of spirit communicator on that level. I'm a spirit communicator on the minimum level where, do you exist? Are you here? Are you intelligent? Okay, bam, there's the information. That's the most important thing to me. And yet, I do come across those who claim to communicate with spirits on a regular basis. We're talking full-blown conversations on a daily basis. They claim. And they're 0% interested in proof. 0% interested in buying a device on sale on some website, whatever. I don't care where. I don't sell this stuff, see? But they're 0% interested in any scientific evidence. I believe if every single spirit communicator attempted to prove spirits existed as much as I attempted for the past year, it would be in the face of mainstream scientists. It would be shoving it in their face. They would have to accept it. But right now it's just seen as entertainment. Ghost adventures, scary music, woo, people running from their own shadows. I don't run from my own shadow. I don't even run when a spirit walks up to me and grabs my camera. That's what happened on part 1 of The Gristmill Ghost and the Good Pirate. Check it out. After all the parts are uploaded, I'll consolidate them into one documentary. Stay tuned. More things coming soon. I have a lot I want to share and show. And most definitely I'll just walk around with my millimeter. I walked around the La Brea tar pits. Do you want me to upload that video? La Brea tar pits. It was kind of for comedic purposes, but also I was curious what kind of levels I could get around there. Got a couple levels here and there. Who knows if it's spirits or not. I didn't notice any intelligent responses at the La Brea tar pits. I just noticed probably random EMF fields, perhaps from people's cell phones. Who knows, you know? I always try to find the scientific, logical explanation. But when it's a full-blown communication, can you set this off? And you test that device on many other areas and it doesn't set off anywhere. A static field intelligently doesn't float to an 1830s abandoned building. I did hear creaks. I did hear listening. I heard a couple knocks. I need a better microphone. I need to invest in a better microphone that can really detect what's going on. Because sometimes the entity will go that quiet. And my mic is focused on my voice and not the surrounding area too much. Stay tuned. More episodes coming soon. Spirits are real. Spirits exist. The unseen world is just as real as the seen world. The visible world, just as real as the invisible world. The higher dimensions, just as real as the lower dimensions. Proving or attempting to show the existence of spirits on a scientific level is a noble cause, a noble thing, in my perspective. And those with zero desire to ever even scratch the surface of that, I consider that to be somewhat of a, people do their own things. People do their own things. But if they communicate with spirits, or they claim to, and they have zero desire to show any evidence on camera, I was like that in 2010, 2011, I guess you could say, 2011 specifically. So I can see where they're coming from. But you can film evidence of spirits. It is a possible thing. I'm going to continue to do so. Till next time, John Razimus. Be seeing you.